Hi, Jess.
Hi, Bree.
I'm so happy that we're here at TPAP.
Oh, look at us.
Performing Arts Project, Wake Forest University.
North Carolina. Let's go.
Winston-Salem?
Ooh.
What's that name?
Winston-Salem. Not the one where they killed all those women.
There we go.
A different one.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm here with the lovely Jess, who I've just met like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I already feel such a good connection with you.
I know.
I'm so happy that you've decided to come with me on this podcast journey.
Of course. I'm always here to support.
Amazing. My first question, start things off.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find inspiration? Where does it come from?
For me, inspiration comes from all around. Like, I don't usually look at something specific. Like, oh, I want to write something like this. So let me look at this specific thing and hopefully I'll get inspiration from it.
Cool.
Usually I'm just fucking living life, bro. And I just see something.
Living life.
And something pops into my ADD brain. And I'm like, oh, that could be really interesting. Like, I'm actually working on a manuscript right now for a movie.
No way.
Yes.
Tell me more.
We were in Susan Blackwell's Spark Files. Look it up on wherever you get your podcasts.
The lovely Susan Blackwell.
The lovely
and Lauren
Susan Blackwell.
Camden.
And Lauren Campton. Oh my god, I'm in love with them.
Love it.
They had a little circle thing, a little class where we would share ideas and then we'd have to pledge that we would start writing them. And I talked about my idea for this movie that I had, and I actually got the idea when I saw A Quiet Place. It's not movie. I'm not writing a horror movie, don't worry. I'm not gonna like try to write that's not what I'm doing. But they did amazing work with sound design, and that sparked something in me like, oh, wait. And I got this idea for a movie about an older individual, a woman, because there aren't enough movies starring women.
Absolutely.
And I've actually finally started writing it, and I have already 5 full pages of dialogue.
Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I'm like really, really happy with how it's going so far. I have names for characters. I have backgrounds.
And that you've just written that since the time we had with
since
that
a
with
week
Susan.
and a half ago. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Doing things means doing things.
Doing things means doing things.
Ooh, stealing it.
Ooh.
That's awesome. I think that is so, like, it's gonna help to sort of open the discussion up about, like, people who are dealing with disabilities and, you know, like, A Quiet Place is definitely, like, gearing towards that, but I feel like this is really gonna touch upon it, and I totally support you on that.
In the movie, the older person is gonna have a young deaf mentor. Like, they're gonna meet probably through like a support group for older people who are losing their hearing. That's how I'm gonna have them meet. Younger person's most likely gonna be a guest brought in by the leader of the group, and they're gonna bond. And the person who's inspiring me for that role is an artist, an activist, actor, model. He's amazing. Chalaman. He is a gender queer activist. He inspires me oh my god, so much. He's absolutely phenomenal. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Chalaman on Instagram. Chalaman is his main one. He also has another one, Chalaman Art. Okay. He's an artist too. I really want to get a commission for him for a tattoo when I graduate from college.
Is he in New York?
He's in New York, yeah. He lives in the NYU area.
Hey, NYU!
Let's go. I'm going there, by the way.
Yay! So happy.
And the things that he does are just phenomenal. He works so hard for people in the deaf community. He works so hard for people in the queer community. And everything he does just sparks me to no end. And this young deaf character that I'm writing is fully inspired by him. Like, fully. Like, I definitely want it to be played by either a trans actor or a genderqueer actor. Like, amazing. I want to show that side, because for a lot of people, they don't think of intersectionality when they think of minorities. They think like, oh, disabled, but they're straight and white.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, you can only have one thing that's a little bit weird about you. Exactly. Yeah. I'm laughing because I think that's really stupid.
A lot of people forget that there are disabled Black trans women. Like, they exist, and they're amazing, and they're completely valid in everything that they do. There is this one black trans model. I don't remember her name, but she's amazing friends with Chalaman. If you go to his Instagram, I think you should find her because he posts about her a lot because they're just insanely supportive of one another. And it's amazing. I will
link his Insta in
the
bio.
Please.
Sure.
Please watch him. He's
yes.
amazing.
Yes.
He actually just booked a part in a DC series. He's going to be playing a superhero. He's the first deaf, genderqueer actor to ever play a superhero. At least that we know of. At least, like, out.
That's awesome. In a movie or in a TV show?
In a TV series. A DC TV series.
Amazing.
And I'm really excited for it.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I love that you can, like, find not, like, a jealousy in other people, but, like, an inspiration from other people.
Yeah.
And sort of, and be okay to admit, like, this person is, in some ways, like, cooler and awesomer than me, but I'm gonna, like, try and get to their level.
Yeah.
And not have hatred towards that, or, like, jealousy for me is, like, a big thing that I'm trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only human, but, like,
I
that's lovely.
A lot from, like, being jealous of people all the time.
It's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, like, this little green demon, and you're like, oh, God, I hate it. It's there, and it's like, bah.
He shows up.
Yeah, she's just there, you know? She shows up, she's like, hey, bitch, and she pokes you with this little stick.
He, she, they, whoever they are.
I just call her bitch. This bitch
Mm-hmm.
comes up, and they're like, you see this? You don't have it. You know?
Poke, poke, poke.
Poke, poke, poke. But you can also find inspiration through jealousy. I mostly find inspiration, like I said, from random things, but also from the mundane.
Ooh.
Like everyday life. If you just sit and you watch people, you can find some of the most interesting things.
Cool. Like people watching, right?
Yeah. Just go to a park. Just go to a park. Go to a park in New York, and you can just watch, and you can find little ticks, or you can find little, like, pickets of, little, like, bits of conversation, and you're like, oh, and that could spark something. Like,
speaking of New York,
what
are your wishes for NYU? Because you're gonna be a freshman.
Yes, I am.
So exciting! I'm so happy for you to get into that amazing school. What's one of your, like, biggest goals or wishes for your BFA?
For my BFA in acting. Mostly, of course, I want to expand my mind of what I think acting can be. But my biggest goal, at least for right now, is to be in a film. Because I've never been in a film before, but that's always been one of my dreams. Like, since I was, like, when I was a little kid, I always thought I wanted to be an MT major, and now I look back, I'm like, I was supposed to be an acting major. I would literally, in my room, alone, I would pretend I was in telenovelas. I would literally, and like the broken-ass Spanish that I learned from preschool, I would literally talk dramatically about water and colors, and I would count, but in a way that I was like, you murdered my sister, but it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know?
You murdered my sister.
It was very interpretive and abstract.
Okay.
My work.
So would the film that you would want to be in be that genre or any genre?
I would want to be, honestly, in any genre of film.
Dope.
But mostly what I want to be in the most, I know people are like, I want to change the world with my work. But
you can.
You can change the world with your work.
Go for it.
But, like, the whole reason I'm in this business is because I want to be what I never saw. Like, as a queer and non-binary person, what's up? Hey. I never saw myself in anything. Like, the Disney princess that I felt the most connected to was Mulan. And I'm white as fuck. And I was like, and that's such, like, a stupid thing to say. Like, oh, well, I'm white. Look at all these white people. And I'm not trying to be like, I'm special. I connected with a person of color. Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
But no, you see, you know, the determination that she had, and the idea of gender bending, and the idea of, like, truly being yourself, and understanding that that's going to be a journey and a process and a difficult thing. But you can do it. Yeah. And you can get through it.
And the first time I ever saw myself was this past year. They did a reiteration of She-Ra, the 1980s
cartoon. Yes, you were telling me about this. Yeah.
It is a Netflix animated series. And they just released season 2 like a few months ago. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very gay. It's so gay.
Fun.
And there's a bunch of different like body types and races that are represented, and it's so amazing. And for the first time, I saw myself in the character Scorpia. She's not non-binary, but she's this muscular, masculine, but also feminine and like a parent to the other villains. She's one of the villains.
Amazing.
And for the first time, I was like, holy shit, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
At the age of 18.
I see it.
For the first time, I was like, holy fuck.
Oh,
I see myself in something.
Yay.
And it was an amazing experience. I just saw myself and was like, holy shit. Even my friend Manu Cormick, she's amazing. She's also an artist. Look her up, Manu Cormick. She literally DM'd me. We were talking about it. I was like, she's like, you are literally Scorpia. I saw this and I was like, holy shit, that's Jess. And I was like, it's not just me. It is. Okay. I get it. I see me. That's me.
Yes.
And it was just this amazing experience. And I realized that it's fucked up that I never had that as a kid.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
I never saw me.
Mm-hmm.
I never did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never really felt connected to this idea of femininity. This long hair, beautiful ball gowns, singing to birds shit. Like, that's never been me. That's never been what I was. And I want to provide that for people. Because if I had Scorpia as a kid, the amount of heartache and depression and anxiety that I could have avoided, I feel, would have been exponential. Like, I just could have been like, it's not just me. Like, when
you're not alone.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in a small suburb of Houston called the Woodlands. And it's the kind of town where they're like a decent amount of liberal people, but I've seen like Confederate flags on trucks. Like, that's like where I live. Like, my neighbors are Trump supporters. Like, that's where I live.
Ooh, that's hard.
Can't wait to go to New York.
Yeah.
And I was never comfortable. I remember one of the worst experiences I ever had. That was when I still identified as bisexual. Now it's just queer because fuck labels. Like, it's annoying. But I came out to this girl. I won't say her real name, so let's just say her name's Brittany.
Cool.
It was a girl, Brittany.
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Absolutely.
Brittany.
Yeah. It's totally her, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came out to her, and a few days later, I think she forgot that I had come out to her.
Oh.
We got into this really, really heated argument about gay marriage, because it was before it had been legalized.
Okay.
Because it was only legalized, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2013, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I was maybe 13 or 12 at the time. I don't quite remember. But we got into this really heated argument, and she said something along the lines of gay people are going to burn in hell. And I shut down. I ran to the bathroom and I cried for the rest of the lunch period. And I remember my best friend, she got me and she took me to the counselor's office because she was like, oh my God, you need to talk to somebody about this.
Yeah.
And instead of showing me support or telling me that I was going to be okay or just listening, the counselor asked me, are you sure this isn't a phase? I've known kids who've grown out of it. And and who
is this counselor?
I don't remember her name. I just remember her damn face.
Yeah.
So I just kind of emotionally shut down for the rest of the time I was in the public school system.
Yeah.
And then I left to do online school in the middle of 8th grade.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, big decision.
And for the last 4.5 years, I've been an online school student.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
So college is going to be the first time I'm going to go back into like a real school experience.
Oh my God, it's gonna be huge, but a good one, because I feel like you're also now in a better place. Like,
fully.
To have, like such a, and we all go through it, such a down. There's always so much now and up that you can find and fight for, and there's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. So I'm so excited for you. Yeah. It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you for giving me your time. I love you, Brie. Mwah.
Yay! Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.